Hello and welcome to a very exciting video. I'm the Pedaling Pianist, and while I have uploaded plenty of puzzle content to this YouTube channel before, I've never really had much of a reason to do so with any frequency until now. You can read all about that on a blog post on my Patreon page, which will be linked in the video description. For now, all I'll say is that I'm in the let's see how things go phase. There is one particular life update in that blog post that makes now quite an odd choice of time in my life to try and progress my career as a YouTuber. But if this video gets a good amount of engagement, I will do my best to try and commit to a regular upload schedule and hopefully quite a frequent one as well. In the meantime, any feedback on this video will be enormously appreciated. I'm not absolutely wedded to the layout or the colour scheme, for example. I did work quite hard on it, so I quite like it, but if there's anything particularly wrong with it, please do let me know. And then my presentation style, I mean, it is quite hard to deviate from the standard format used by a lot of other puzzle YouTubers of introduce a puzzle, solve it. But I will be a little bit more lenient with myself when I get stuck than some other YouTubers might. I think some of the YouTubers see solving live on stream as a kind of challenge. Well, not live on stream, but on a camera as a kind of challenge where you have to show the entire solving process, otherwise it's impure. And whilst I really want to avoid any post editing, if I do find myself getting badly stuck, I will allow myself the use of the pause button on OBS. Anyway, let's have a look at this puzzle, and I think there are very few people more deserving of a feature in this, what I like to think of as quite a special YouTube video, than Phil the Hat. He may not be the most recognisable setter name in the Sudoku community, however, he has developed a line curving tool which has basically opened up a whole world of aesthetics to Sudoku setters over the last few years, meaning that lines like this one on your screen are possible. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And a stunning grid. There is a racetrack in the grid. It looks so much more exciting like this than if it was just a series of straight lines. So yeah, huge credit to him for that tool. If I remember, I'll also link that line tool in the description so you can have a look yourself. I don't think it makes much sense to look at that particular website without the context of Sudoku Maker as well, which is the tool that a lot of setters use to set Sudokus in the first place. It gets a little bit complicated, but if you look into it, it's just such a useful tool. So, this is what I will be having a go at. Let's triple check I'm actually recording. I think I am. I think things have gone well so far. One bit of feedback I have for myself already, don't worry, is that I don't want my intros to be enormously long. I'm allowing myself today as an excuse for a particularly long intro, given that it's the first one of many. Well, it's not my first solve on this YouTube channel, but hopefully the first one that's in an attempt to be a puzzle solving YouTuber. I'll be quiet. Let's get on with the rules of Racetrack by Phil the Hat. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. That's what normal Sudoku is. So the digits 1 to 9 go once in here, and once in every box as well. Yeah, and that applies to all rows, columns, and boxes. Right. The box borders divide the track into sections. Each section must satisfy exactly one of the following 3 constraints. No 2 connected sections use the same constraint. 1. German whispers. Adjacent digits along the track in these sections must differ by 5 or more. 2. 10 sections. These consist of 1 or more non-overlapping subsections, each of which sum to 10. I think I've come across 10 lines before. We'll talk a little bit more about that in in the solve itself. Entropic roadway is number 3. No two adjacent digits may be in the same entropic group. There are 3 groups: low, which is 1, 2, 3, medium, which is 4, 5, 6, and high, which is 7, 8, 9. Furthermore, any run of 3 adjacent digits must be from different groups. Right. So yeah, we should probably just recap those a little bit. So German whispers. Let's say. Well, I mean, this box 5 is already looking a bit interesting, isn't it? Let's pick this segment. If this was a German whispers line, then the difference between those two would have to be at least 5. Between those two would have to be at least 5, and so on. The 10 sections, if this was a 10 section, then we might have those two summing to 10, and then those 3 separately summing to 10. And then if this was an entropic roadway, we would have something like a digit from 7, 8, or 9 here, a 1, 2, or 3 here, and a 4, 5, or 6 here, and then we would be back to 7, 8, or 9, and then we would be back to 1, 2, or 3. So I think that's how that works. And then there are 2 racing cars on the track. The cells separated by the winning car contain digits in a 1 to 2 ratio. Cells separated by the other car contain consecutive digits. Right, so if we decided that this car wins the race, then we would put something like a 3 and a 6 because they're in a 1 to 2 ratio, and this one would have perhaps a 4 and a 5 because they're consecutive. That, I think, is all the rules. We are still recording. I'll be checking that a lot of times throughout the video, don't you worry. Let's restart the timer and have a go. Yes, and like I said while I was reading out the rules there, my eyes are drawn to box 5, where we have every cell in the box joined up by a line. Right, well, we can immediately deduce which of the 3 line types it's going to be, because it's not going to be German whispers. There is a secret of German whisper lines in a normal Sudoku, where you cannot have the number 5 on a German whisper line, because if you try to go at least 5 up from 5, you'll get to 10 or more, and if you go at least 5 down from 5, you'll get to 0 or less. And those are not valid Sudoku digits. So if this were a German whisper line, the 5 on that must go in box 5 would be broken. And if this were a 10 section line, a 10 line, then that would also be broken, and that's because of the secret. This is a wonderful day. I get to explain the secret to you all. Honestly, if you're watching this video, there is a very high chance that you already know about the secret, and you've probably come from elsewhere within the Sudoku community. But I'll explain it anyway. In every row, column, and box of the Sudoku, we expect to find the digits 1 to 9. That's the rules of Sudoku. So if we find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in this box, those 9 digits sum to 45. And how could we possibly divide this line into subsections that sum to 10 if the whole box sums to 45? We can't. So this is an entropic roadway, which means that if we found, for example, that this digit is from 1, 2, or 3, and that this is from 4, 5, or 6, then this would be 7, 8, 9, then back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, one thing we can do here is we can colour them. I'm not totally convinced I want to do that just yet. So what I mean by that is we don't know whether that's from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8, 9, but we know it's from an entropic group, and we can call that entropic group yellow, and then this one pink, and then this one green, and then this one will be yellow again, this one will be pink again, this one will be green again, this will be yellow, this will be pink, this will be green. And I mean, certainly the most interesting conclusion from that is that the pink entropy is entirely in column 5. But I don't think that means anything unless we knew, for example, that this was going to be another entropic roadway, at which point then we could deduce something like this will be the green entropy and the yellow entropy because neither of them can be the pink entropy, and therefore these will be pink entropies. But no, I'm not totally convinced by that. Okay, this is another long line, isn't it? It's 7 cells, if I'm counting correctly. And because no two adjacent line segments can be the same line type, we do know this. Yeah, we do know this cannot be an entropic roadway. So we're left with 2 choices. It's German whispers or 10 sections. Now, right, let's think about 10 sections first. So we would then know that these 7 cells could be split into groups summing to 10. Which means, right, I think they would have to sum to 30 in total. Yeah, this is mildly interesting, but I don't think we can disprove it just yet. These would have to sum to 30. They'd have to be 3 sections summing to 30. The way I'm seeing that is a combination of 2 things. It's the leftover digits. So remember we said that these will all sum to 45, because it's an entire box of the Sudoku. The leftover digits will sum to either 5 if this sums to 40, or 15 if this sums to 30, etc. They can't sum to 25. We can't make 2 Sudoku digits sum to 25. So it's going to be 5 or 15. So this will be 30 or 40, but how could it possibly be 40? We could make these 7 digits sum to 40, but not in such a way that has distinct segments summing to 10, because we always need at least 2 cells to create a segment summing to 10, because 10 is itself not a Sudoku digit. So 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and then we've run out of space to create our 4th 10 segment. So yes, if this is a 10 sections line, these will sum to 30, and these therefore will sum to 15, and they won't be 7, 8. So they will be 6 and 9. The alternative is that this is a German whispers line. Now we've already said that 5 can never go on a German whispers line. Another secret of German whispers, which kind of comes from that, is that we will always alternate between high digits and low digits. If we have something from 6, 7, 8, and 9 here, we couldn't go to something else from 6, 7, 8, or 9. Neither could we go to 5. None of those are far enough away. So we would go to 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then back up to 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. I mean, is it too early to start thinking about this car? Obviously, if this is a German whispers line, then those two couldn't be the consecutive pair. Oh no, it is not too early to think about this car. That's fantastic. Right, yes. Yeah, you can't have 2 digits at least 5 apart and also consecutive. That's just total nonsense. But also, they can't be at least 5 apart and also in a 1 to 2 ratio, because the lowest pair of digits, the lowest pair of numbers that are at least 5 apart and in a 1 to 2 ratio are 5 and 10, and 10 is not a valid Sudoku digit. So this is in fact not a German whispers line. It will be a 10 sections line, and these will be a 6-9 pair. These will sum to 30. Right, I can see how this will work. So there will be 2 sections of length 2 and 1 section of length 3. We don't know if it's going to be 2, 2, and 3, or maybe 2, 3, 2, or 2, 2, 3 is the other one I didn't do. Yeah, we don't know that, but the 2 length 2 sections can't be 6, 4 or 9, 1, so they must be 2, 8 and 3, 7, and the final 3 digits in the box will be 1, 4, and 5. So they must form a group as well. So, oh, okay. Well, that's weird. I just spotted that this can't be the 145 triple, the 145 section of the 10 line, because if it is, then 4 goes here. Oh no, sorry. I was going to say, then this would need to be a consecutive pair. This would have to be the 3, and that would have to be the 7. But that's not true. This could still be the winning car, which would be, yeah, if that's a 4, that could be a 2 or an 8. In fact, this would just be the 2-8 pair. This would be the 3-7 pair, and everything will be fine. Okay, so it's not that. Do we carry this on then? Do we look at this section next? The problem with this one is it can just go back to being the entropic roadway. So there's really no problem there. Let me just have a quick think. Are we being told anything by this 6-9 pair? 6 goes in here. That's mildly interesting. So if this one is a German whisper line, then 6 can only go with 1 digit on a German whisper line, and that digit is 1. So it would be a 6 here, a 1 here, a 7 or 8 here, a 2 or 3 here. That seems absolutely fine. If this is an entropic line, yeah, that seems fine as well. In a 10 line, we could have a 6-4 pair, and yeah, loads of other options. Okay, so I don't think the 6 pointing into box 9 is the place to go. Right, we are definitely recording. One other thing I wanted to check is the volume level. So I'm imagining a lot of my viewers will already know this, but I also stream on Twitch most Fridays, and usually the Twitch streams are a lot more casual than you would normally expect a YouTube video to be. Not that YouTube videos are particularly formal, but yeah, one difference is that I've tried putting this pop shield on my microphone today, just to try and keep the audio as clean as possible, which I don't usually bother doing when I'm streaming. So if that's made the volume any quieter than you would like it to be, then please do let me know. Right, I've gone off on a tangent and I haven't even got a digit yet, and we're 12 minutes into the solve. And what? How many minutes into the video? 19. Right, okay. Come on, what are we missing then? I'm not panicking yet. I'm definitely taking my time to explain absolutely everything. A lot more than I usually would on a Twitch stream, so I hope you appreciate that. Right. Can this be a 4-5 pair? 4, 5, 1 there, and that's a 2, 3, and a 7 and 8 in some order. I think that's fine. Otherwise, yeah, those can just be consecutive if it's like a 2, 3. If that's the 2, 8, that's the 3, 7. Well, yeah, that could be the 7. That could be the 8. Yeah, I don't think this is the place to look. One thought I did have is that short line segments might be quite interesting. Yeah, I'm going to say this is quite interesting. This is a 2-cell segment, and because it's next to an entropic roadway, this can't be another one. So, yeah, so if these two were from different entropic sets, sorry, my brain is going off and leaving my mouth behind. If these two are part of this, different entropic sets, then this would be a valid entropic roadway. But we can't make it a valid entropic roadway. So these two must be from the same entropic set, which means they can't possibly. Here it is. Right, we've got digits. They can't possibly be a German whispers line, because if they're from the same entropic set, they are within the same 3 digits, the same run of 3 consecutive digits. So there must be a 10 section line. So these two sum to 10, they are from the same entropic set, so they must be 6 and 4. And we have digits, which is very exciting. We now know that pink is not the 369. No, that's a modular set. This is not the. Did I make that mistake earlier? I feel like, at least in my head, I was thinking of these as 147, 258, 369. And that's a different line type entirely. Don't worry about that if that's nonsense. Well, it is nonsense. So this is not the 456 group. Right. Right, and then we use the given 4 to say that if this is not the 456 group, where do we put 4 in the middle box? It's not there by Sudoku, it's not pink, we've just said that. And it's not this cell, so it must be green, meaning that green is the 456 group. And furthermore, this is neither 4 nor 6, so it's a 5. Excellent. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I should make more of these videos. Good, so what does that tell us? It tells us something. This is a 10 line. Yeah, we might need to be a little bit careful with this one now, actually. Right. Yeah, it's the shorter line lengths that are surprisingly the most restricted. That's really interesting. So if we tried to make this a valid German whispers line, then by being at least 5 apart, these two digits will definitely be different entropies. So it would also be a valid entropic line, and these lines must satisfy exactly one of the following 3 constraints. Right, so this cannot be German whispers. It can't be 10 section either, because now that 4, 6 has gone, the other pairs of digits that sum to 10, 3, 7, 2, 8, 1, 9, are again all in different entropic sets. This is a really nice interaction between the 3 rule types, actually. It's very well chosen rule types. It's not just 3 random rule types that have been thrown together in the hope that it will make a nice puzzle. These have been carefully selected, and it makes for a very good puzzle with nice interactions. So this is, we've ruled out German whispers, we've ruled out 10 sections. It must be entropic roadway. So, I mean, at that point, things get a bit looser. We can just stick a 5 on there, and then whatever the other digit is, it will satisfy the constraint. Do we perhaps have to think about the other line in box 2? Or what about this one? Because can't we just say all of the same things about that line as what we just said about that line? It can't be a 10 section. again, German whispers would also simultaneously satisfy the entropic roadway constraint, so it must be an entropic roadway. But again, we could just chuck a 5 on there, and then whatever the other digit is, it would work. Or we don't put a 5 on there, and it will probably end up working. Ooh, hold on. No, hold on. No, we must have a 5 on there, right? Oh my goodness, this is clever. I love this step. Right. How can we make this a valid entropic roadway section, but not a valid German whispers section? One way is we can put a 5 on there, because 5s don't go on German whispers, so that will immediately break as a German whisper. It's fine. We're all good. So put a 5 on there, and we're happy. It's definitely not going to be German whispers. But if we don't put a 5 on there, we're also not putting a 4 or 6 on there. So we're putting something from the low entropic set and something from the high entropic set. Something from 1, 2, 3, something from 7, 8, 9. How do we avoid those two digits that we select? How do we avoid those two digits being at least 5 apart, and therefore satisfying the German whispers constraint? The only way to do that is by making them 3 and 7, because 3 and 7 are only 4 apart. But 3 and 7 sum to 10, so that would be a valid 10 sections line as well. Oh, this is gorgeous. So actually we must have a 5 on here. And for all the same reasons, we must have a 5 on there. So the 5 that does exist there means we can't put a 5 here. This is a 5. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so, right, but annoyingly now, whatever else we put on here, we're going to be fine. We're not going to be able to sum to 10 with a 5, and we're not going to be able to be at least 5 apart from 5. So actually, we don't really need to worry about those road sections anymore. Right, but now we come back to this one. This is lovely, because now, well, this is 3 cells. So if it was going to be an entropic roadway, it would need one of every entropy, a low, a medium, and a high. Where is it going to get its medium from, given that 4, 5, and 6 are all taken in the row? It's not. So it's not entropic roadway. It's not 10 sections, because this box, this line segment was 10 sections instead. So this must be German whispers. I think I'm actually going to denote that by drawing a green line through here, because I don't really know what pencil marking we can do for the German whisper line. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure, but drawing a green line, I know it makes the beautiful racetrack a little bit less beautiful, but I'll remove it once I'm able to write in some genuine information on top of it. Right, but what I have seen is that 5 now goes over here by Sudoku, and 5s never go on German whisper lines, and this is an entropic line, isn't it? So if that's entropic, this can't be German whisper, it can't be entropic, because no two adjacent segments are the same type. It therefore must be a sum to 10 line. Ooh. So this is either 2, 3, 5 or 1, 4, 5. If it's 2, 3, 5, the 2 goes here, and this is a 3, 5 pair. If it's 1, 4, 5, I think we don't know. That's so almost interesting. Oh. Hold on, can it be 2, 3, 5? Right, it can. I'm just looking at the interaction between these digits and this German whisper line, because we said already that German whisper lines alternate between high digits and low digits. If the low digits are here and here, that means we've got 2 of them, but we've also got 2 low digits around here. So if the low digits were here and here, they couldn't include a 4, and yet, well, we would know that all 4 of our low digits would be in these 5 cells, but these two couldn't include a 4. So these ones would have to be the ones that have the 4 in. And so this would have to be a 2-3 pair. See, that's not particularly surprising because I've also just noticed that 9, just by Sudoku, goes in here. And now I've noticed something else, which is that 6 by Sudoku goes in exactly there. So now actually 9 by Sudoku does go here. So these are both low. They are not 4. So in our kind of low quadruple that we've got going on, we know that the 4 must go in this collection, which means this is the 1-4-5 flavour of summing to 10, meaning that we take 1 out of there, and this is an 8. Lovely, and this places a 6 down here as well, doesn't it? Which should be good. Right, so... Oh, we can just keep going along the line. Oh, this is lovely. Right, so now that this is a 10 sections line, this can't be, because no two adjacent segments are the same line type. So it also can't be an entropic roadway because we wouldn't be able to put any medium digits anywhere along the line, and we would need to put at least 1. So it must be German Whisper. But what does that mean? Annoyingly, of the digits we've got left in the box, only 3 and 7 can't go next to each other on a German Whisper. Oh no, sorry. That's obviously nonsense. We can't put like 7 and 8 next to each other, or 7 and 9. Of the opposite entropy digits left in this box, only 3 and 7 can't go next to each other, so it's not as constraining as we might want it to be. But that's okay. We'll keep looking. 2. Yeah, 2 by Sudoku goes in here. So that means that if 2 is here, then the kind of polarity of this line goes low, high, low, high. But if 2 is here, then it also goes low there with a high on either side, and that's a low. So either way, we get lows here, we get highs here, but not 7 or 6. So this is just an 8-9 pair. 7 in the box now goes here. This is from 1, 2, or 3, but not 2. Yeah, we are flying. Okay, and these 3 digits should now be known. They are 1, 5, 8. Try that again. 1, 5, 8. We already said that the 5 had to go on this line, so let's get rid of a 5 from here. Do we want to think about this line? It's not German Whisper. Could it be summing to 10? Well, it would be 2 pairs of digits summing to 10 each, because if all 4 of these if they were just one segment that summed to 10, they would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and there's a 2 just there preventing that. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. So could it be something like 1, 9? Well, it couldn't be 8, 2. Okay, so it would have to be 1, 9. And then I think this would be a 3, 7 pair. But that's okay. In fact, actually, there is a 7 on here by Sudoku, so that wouldn't be too surprising. There's also a 9 on here by Sudoku. Right, okay, and that tells us it's not going to be the entropic roadway, because the 7 and the 9, which are part of the same entropic set, would be too close to each other. In an entropic roadway, digits from the same entropic set have to be 3 steps apart from each other, and you can't put 2 digits on here 3 steps apart from each other. So actually, this is going to be the 10 section line type. We're going to have a 1 here, because it can't be 8, 2, because there's a 2 here. That's going to be a 9, And now this is going to be a 3-7. I was hoping we could say it couldn't go down to a 3 because that would make it a valid German whisper line as well. But actually, the German whisper line is broken by the 3 being next to the 7 either way round. So I don't think we can determine that just yet. What we can do is get rid of 1 here and clean off that line that I promised I'd clean off over there. Oh, here's a fairly simple deduction. I'll revisit box 1 because we're really making momentum, kind of going anti-clockwise around the grid. Making momentum? Sure, why not? These 3 digits, if they were all medium, well, we know they're not all medium. We've got 4, 5, and 6 in the box already. If they were all low, then those cells would be badly broken. We would be trying to squeeze 5 copies of 1, 2, or 3 into column 5 of this Sudoku, which I don't believe is possible. So these will be 7, 8, 9 instead. And furthermore, yellow by process of elimination is 1, 2, 3. That gives us a 4, a 5, and a low digit to place in here, which is gorgeous because that stops this from being a German whisper line, because we just simply don't have any high digits available in this domino, and well, exactly one of them would have to be a high digit. Okay, so this is not German whisper. We probably need to bank that information and come back to it later, is my guess. Let's just fill in these 2 cells. They're 4 and 6, I think. Yes, because there's lots of Sudoku we can do up here. There's a 3 in here, so there isn't a 3 in here, so that is a 3. Now this 1, 2 pair makes that a 4. And we get a 4, 5, a 1, 5 pair at the top. Okay. Now, do we want to look at this line next? Maybe. Let's have a think about it. What's the worst that can happen? So, it can't be a 10 line because that was adjacent. I do really like this idea, by the way. You know, the fact that there are 3 options for each line, but one is always ruled out as long as, you know, you've got a neighbouring line segment sorted. So it's always just a choice of 2. That means that it never feels like we're doing extensive case testing or you know, trial and error or anything like that. It's a really neat kind of level of difficulty without kind of going into the realms of tedium. So yeah, very much enjoying that. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Saying nice things about the puzzle. Let's go back to saying horrible things. No, I mean, let's go back to solving the puzzle. Not a 10 line. Can it be entropy? Yes, very easily. Can it be German whispers? Yeah, very easily. I don't see any problem with that. Okay. No, maybe that is not where to look then. Maybe we do look at box 8. Let me just have a quick think about this. No, that's under even less pressure than that. No, I'm not going to think about that. No. Am I? It's either German whispers or 10 line. It's not entropy. No, I don't know. Let's go back to. Oh, I'll tell you what we can go back to, actually. This line. We said that this had a 2-8 segment, a 3-7 segment, and a 1-4-5 segment. The 1-4-5 is either going to go in these 3, or the middle 3. Well, it's not the middle 3 anymore, because 4 doesn't go on any of those cells. So it could be here with this being a 4-5 pair. Or, right, I think we know which car wins the race. Yeah, so this could be a 4-5 pair as part of a 1-4-5 triple. Or the 1-4-5 goes over here, and this is 2 or 8, 2 and 8, or 3 and 7, and this is 2 and 8, or 3 and 7. But either way, there's no combinations available to make this a 1-to-2 ratio domino. If this is the 2-8 domino, well, actually by Sudoku this would be the 8. 4 isn't available here, so this would be a 7, making this consecutive. And if this is the 3-7 domino, this would be the 7, this would be the 8, making this consecutive. So this is always either a 4-5 pair with... do we go full pencil mark on this box? I might try it. So in the world where this is a 4-5 pair, this is a 1, and we get the 2, 3, 7, 8 over there. I don't know. And then in the world where this is the 1-4-5, actually we do know that this would be the 1, this would be the 4, this would be the 5. And that's okay, I think. I don't see a problem with that. But in that world, this would actually be a 7-8 pair. And that would be a 2 or 3. Yeah, cool. I'll settle on that. Sorry, I've spent a long time just fiddling around with with these 3 cells, only to come out with enormous pencil marks. Yeah, but what we do know now is that this car is the winner, and this car therefore must separate 2 digits in a 1-to-2 ratio. There are 4 such pairs of digits in Sudoku: 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, and 4, 8. So where does 7 go in column 4? 7 never goes on a 1-to-2 ratio domino like this. We can't put 3.5 or 14 in here, so this is a 7. And actually, this is just... Well, yeah, just by Sudoku, we don't have 1, 2, 3 left in the column, or 4, 5, 6, or 7. So this is just the other one of 8 and 9 that isn't this one. So it must be an 8 because we can't make this a 9. So this is a 4, therefore that does a bit of Sudoku at the top, as does the 8. That's good. And now, well, I suppose we've got digits, haven't we? So let's have a think about this one, which we said earlier couldn't be a German whisper line. Oh, and it can't be a 10 line either. Oh, that's so neat. I love that. So we said it couldn't be a German whisper line because, well, now we know that this is a 7. This would be going down to a low digit. This would then be a high digit. But based on the 7, 8, 9 triple here and the 6 just here, that has no high digits available. So can it be a 10 line? It can't be a 10 line because for this 7 to be part of a segment something to 10, it either has to be a 7 with a 3 just here, not possible, or 7 with a 1-2 pair just here. But that breaks this cell. That is beautiful setting. That breaks this cell because we would then get 3 1s or 2s in column 5. So the only option left is the entropy line. So we're going high, something, something, high, and that high digit can't be 7 or 8, so it must be a 9. And these two must be from the same entropy. So if they're from the middle entropy, they are a 4 and a 5. But that's not possible because 4, 5, and 6 are all taken in this column, so that couldn't be the 4 or 5. So it must be from 1, 2, 3. That's not a 3. This must be from 4, 5, 6. In fact, actually, just based on column 5, this is a 4, 5 pair, and we know the order because of this. And then this must be the last of 1, 2, 3 in the box. And suddenly everything is looking excellent. And now we've actually got an entropy line going here as well. Whatever this is, it will be a valid entropy line, and actually, well, yeah, whatever this digit is, there's no way of making it a valid 10-section line or German whisper line anyway, so that's just entropy. That one was entropy as well. So all we know about this is that it can't be entropy. So it could be a 10 line, in which case we could have a 4 here. We couldn't have a 3-1 pair, because even though this would be a segment summing to 10, it would leave behind a 1-cell segment into which we would need to put 10's worth of digits. Not going to happen. So we would have a 6, 4, and then options there. We don't like options. No, okay. Or it could be a German whisper line with a 6, a 1, and then options again. 7 or 8, 2, 3. I think we've been through this, so yeah, let's not go through it again. I feel like I'm doing quite well with this solve, so I'm going to check that we're recording, and we are. Good. I am slightly worried that the little audio bar that kind of bounces up and down as you speak, it's not quite going as high as I'm used to it going. So I am worried that this whole video is just going to be a bit quiet, but I'm sure you're all capable of turning the volume up. Do let me know if you had to turn your volume up to full and it still wasn't loud enough. Anyway, getting distracted again. Let's refocus, and let's look at 6 in this box, which has to go over here. Well, should we look at this one? Oh yeah, there we go. It's obvious. We look at this one. It's not entropy because we've just had an entropy line, or entropic roadway, and it's not German whisper because what's the only digit that is at least 5 away from 4? And the answer is 9. And there is a given 9 just there, which usually I'm not very good at seeing. Given digits tend to hide in plain sight, but I don't think I'm alone in that. But anyway, what that means is that this must be a valid 10 line, so we are splitting this into 1 or more segments that sum to 10. If it's 1 segment, then this all has to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the only way of making 4 different digits sum to 10. So this would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, and there isn't a 2 in this triple, so that would break. Sorry for speaking quite quickly there, but I feel like that's logic we had elsewhere at some point. So yeah, thought I'd try and whiz through that logic. But the point is now that this must be a pair of digits summing to 10, and this must also be a pair of digits summing to 10. We know that this must therefore be a 6. And actually we know what this is, because it's not 6, 4, it's not 2 and 8, and it's not 3 and 7, because that would create 3 or 7s in the column. So it must be 1 and 9. That's the 9, that's the 1. We're not a million miles away from just doing Sudoku, right? Well, this one, no, see, annoyingly, this and this are both 10 lines, and so we're ruling out the same option from this line. And similarly, this and this are both entropic lines, so we're ruling out the same option from this segment. Okay, surely there's some more Sudoku available to us. Oh, it would be hugely powerful if this was a German whisper line. Oh, hold on. Where's 4 in column 9? This is going to end up being a German whisper line. Where is 4 in column 9? I seem to have written a not 4 into here. Yeah, those pencil marks that I spent an annoyingly long time talking about. They have come to fruition. Yeah, so this cannot be a 4 because we know the 4 in this box is part of the 1, 4, 5 triple, so we would have to put a 1, 5 pair over here, and 1 and 5 are neither consecutive nor in a 1 to 2 ratio. So we can't put a 4 here, can't put a 4 anywhere else in this column, not down there by Sudoku, so this is a 4, and now how are we going to make this a 10 line? We just can't. We can't split it into this and this, because that would have to be a 4 to make those two sum to 10, and there's no way we're making these 3 all just sum to 4. That's silly. So it is a German whisper line. Again, beautifully set, because that's immediately going to do so many things. That's a 1. It's the only digit at least 5 away from 6. So by Sudoku, we get all of this, loads of stuff flying into the grid. And now where is 1 in column 9? It's there. So this is the 1, 4, 5 triple. And this has to be 2 and 8 or 3 and 7. Well, it's not 2 and 8. So this is a 2, 8 pair. This is a 3, 7 pair. This must be 7 or 8. This must be 2 or 3. Right, there we go. 2 and 3. That makes a pair in the column. We can't put any more 2s or 3s in this column, so that's going to be a 7. That's going to be an 8. 3 there, 2 there. This is all very exciting. It's going strangely well. Right, the one there was doing Sudoku ages ago that I just ignored. And we do get a 7, 8 pair at the bottom of the column. That's resolved by this. Oh, that's the version we didn't want, because actually 2 and 3 are both valid options. I was just seeing if there was something really clever like not being able to make this a valid entropic line or something like that. But actually, yeah, there's no way it will be a valid entropic line. So yeah, we just need that to be at least 5 away from that, which it will always be. This needs a 2, 3, and 5 to complete the box, and that's how we do that. Right, we are guaranteed a 3 in the corner, which on certain other YouTube channels would be celebrated wildly, but I am far too mature for any of that nonsense. That is a point, though. If anyone has any suggestions for for any kind of I'm trying to remember any memes or phrases that that I should say in every video. I'm thinking something like "Let's get cracking." Like if you're watching this video, you have absolutely seen Cracking the Cryptic. You've heard of that YouTube channel. I would be shocked if anyone watching this video has not heard of Cracking the Cryptic. Let me know if you fit that description. But yes, on Cracking the Cryptic, when they get past their long intros and actually start solving the video, the intros are very enjoyable to watch, and it's a very lovely thing that they do to kind of talk to the community before solving. I love that, but yes, their kind of catchphrase. Catchphrase is the word I was looking for a minute ago. Is "Let's get cracking." I can't use that anymore. That's been taken. So I don't know. Let's get cycling. That would fit my channel a bit better, but also not make any sense. Let's get going off on tangents. That is probably a little bit more apt. On which note, let's focus. This needs the other of 2 and 3 and a 7. Not sure. But surely we know things about this column now. Do we? There's actually a surprising amount still unresolved, unless there's some basic Sudoku I've missed. I don't think there is, you know. Right, I think I'm going to have to think a bit harder. Well, let's just write in 2, 3, 7. I suppose we're not a million miles off a 2, 3, 7 triple in this column, and we do have a 5, 8 pair. So that must mean something. So, right, so this sees all of 2, 3, 7. That's weird. So what does it not see? Oh, right. So these 3 digits need a 1 and a 9, and whichever of 2, 3, and 7 doesn't go in those those two. So this is 1 or 9. Right. And if we made this a 1 or 9, what's that doing? Well, oh, right. It's not. Oh no, we know it's not an entropic line. Duh, right. Sorry. Yes, it's not an entropic line because it is adjacent to well, 2 other line segments that are entropic lines. Can it be a 10 line? If it is, I don't think we can put a 9 on here. Yeah, I mean, a 3-cell 10 line has to be just 3 digits summing to 10. We can't split it in any way. We can't have a 10 and then 2 other digits summing to 10. So we certainly couldn't put a 9 on here. This would be a 9. We'd get something like 1 with a 2-7 pair or a 3-6 pair, not a 4-5 pair. If it's a 3-6 pair, this would be this. No, it's not. What am I talking about? Not a 3-6 pair. It would be a 2-7 pair. So is there a problem with 1 and a 2-7 pair? Well, the 2 would go. Oh, Sudoku again. I'm very good at noticing that this cell can't be things like 6 and 2. Not so good at noticing that this cell also can't be things like 2 and 6. Right, so 1, 2, 7 doesn't work, 1, 3, 6 doesn't work, 1, 4, 5 doesn't work, so this cannot be a 10 line, it just can't. So it must therefore be a German whispers line. So what is it? We said that this is, well, it's 1 or 9, or 2, 3, or 7, but it's not 2. So it's 1, 3, 7, or 9? Yuck. That's a big pencil mark. This one, it sees 1, 2, 4. So if it's a low digit, it is a 3. So it would go 3, 9, and then I guess bounce back down to 1. Oh my goodness. Right, there is. Okay, I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. And it will probably happen in every video that I make solving a puzzle. Oh dear, okay, there is a 1 looking at that 1, 3 pair. That is a 3, that's a 1. So if this is a low digit, it's not. It sees a 1, 4, 2, and a 3. It's not a low digit, it is a high digit. We'll deal with what it actually is in a minute because what it means is that this is a low digit, which is therefore 1. So this is not a low digit, it's 7 or 9. Let's come back to this one because I can see it's not 6 or 9, it is 7 or 8. Oh dear, apologies. Yeah, that was quite a lot of screaming at the screen, I'm sure. Oh, let's take 8 out of this cell. Like, yet more Sudoku. Right, okay, let's just deal with box 5, shall we? Because box 5 is just screaming at me. It was hiding behind the colours, that's my excuse. The pencil marks were hiding behind the colours. There's a 4 there that makes this a 6 and a 4, and there's a 7 that takes 7 out of this cell. Right, I think I'm no longer embarrassing myself with regards to the central box. Whoops, okay. This is a 7-9 pair, so that takes a 9 out of here. We can't have a third 7 or 9 in the row. And now we should be in a good position with some Sudoku. This row needs a 6 to complete it. If we end up needing the logic on this line as well, I'll be very impressed. this. Well, these two are 3 and 5, aren't they? To complete the row. And we somehow don't know? Yeah, we okay. Yeah, I don't think we can do any more Sudoku. I don't think we can place any more digits. I love that. That means we are going to need this line to disambiguate the final pattern. Coming up to about an hour for the video, which I think is about right. Oh, I didn't mention at the beginning, but this has got 4 stars on Logic Masters for difficulty. If that may mean something to you, it may not. But to me, what that means is a half an hour to an hour is a good solve time, and with all of the time that I've spent explaining all my deductions, I'd say an hour is about right, and I'm pretty pleased with that. That's assuming I can finish solving this puzzle. Right, let's have a look at this, which I'm sure you're all screaming for me to do. It's not a 10 line. Right, based on the fact that we've got a 6 next to a 3 or a 5, there's no way it could be a German Whispers line either, because those digits won't be far enough away from each other. Therefore, it must be an entropy line. So we can't have 2 middle entropy digits next to each other. That must be a 3. And furthermore, this must be a high entropy digit. So it's a 7, 8, or 9, but it's not a 9. So it's a 7 or an 8. Right, now we can do Sudoku. That 3 gives us a 5, which gives us a 5 and an 8, which gives us an 8 and a 5. It also takes 3 out of there, giving us a 2 and a 7 and a 3. There's our 3 in the corner, which gets a deep, deep doot on my screen. A terrible in-joke for those not in the know, so my apologies for that. I think I probably could have turned that off actually in the settings. Never mind. If you know, you know. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of amusement. There's a 9 here, there's a 7 here, a 9 here. Just doing Sudoku now. This 3 gives us a 3 and a 7. This 7-8 pair is resolved by Sudoku, and this digit should be a 2. And that is the puzzle. Just under an hour of solving time, plus explaining time. 18 solvers in how many days? Oh, it didn't tell me. Oh, maybe because the puzzle is very old. I say very old by the standards of this community, which is, anything, um, anything over about a week is a very old puzzle. I am still recording. That's a very good sign. So yeah, we'll give some closing thoughts. I mean, I gave a lot of my thoughts as the puzzle went on. It was really, really smooth. A lovely balance of the rule set, so that it didn't become too kind of case checky. Loads of variety in the kind of logic used, and yet also it was, the rule sets were chosen to have really good kind of synergy. Synergy, that's the right word, isn't it? Synergy with each other. So yeah, a lovely, lovely smooth puzzle. Very, very fun aesthetics as well, with the racetrack winding through the grid. Oh, I didn't plan how to end the video. Again, I need a catchphrase. So if anyone has catchphrase suggestions for how to end these videos, they will certainly stop me from going off rambling for 4 extra unnecessary minutes. Let's just wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching. All engagement on this video will be hugely appreciated and will encourage me to continue making this kind of content, despite the mild distractions of the life update that you can read about in my Patreon blog in the description. Yeah, do subscribe for hopefully plenty more of this content in the future. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.